this is something I really want to talk about. And also, it's like a topic I guess people can like maybe like listen to what I say and be like, oh, you're being unsympathetic or kind of you're being an asshole here. But basically, LA City Council was having a meeting or, you know, or whatever it's called, to talk about a couple different things. But one of the things they were talking about is banning homeless encampments outside of schools. And during that meeting in particular, where they were working on that, and actually I think they did pass that law or rule or whatever it is. People were protesting outside of the courthouse and like inside the courthouse, saying like, "That's fucked up. You're kicking people out of their houses, like all this shit, blah blah, whatever." And honestly, I'm just here to say, you guys are dumb, bro. That's so. What are you protesting for? That people
I agree with you.
Can't sleep in front of schools where children are, you know? There's like I wanted to pull it up, but I forgot to. But there's this like fucked up viral video that went viral not too long ago of this guy where he's like standing. It's at first it was kind of confusing to me, where he's like just standing filming himself in front of a school bus that just pulled up to the sidewalk. The door just opened and all these little kids under the age of 10 are just like exiting the school bus, and he's filming himself going like, "What's up, guys? Like, hope you had a good day at school, blah blah," like all that stuff. He's like, check this out. He's like, kids are just getting off the bus right here. He's like, look at this. Flips the camera, and the wherever the school bus stop is, right at that stop is like an encampment, and there's like 3 dudes sitting on a bench shooting up heroin with like needles out. Everything's visible, and they're just sitting right there. And he's filming these kids like getting off the school bus and these dudes shooting up. He's like, this is what these poor kids gotta fucking get off the bus to, or whatever, all this shit. And then people, you know, that's one problem. I'm not sure how you're gonna fix that. But now,
no, I agree with that though.
It's so stupid. It's like, why are you gonna allow that, you know?
That shouldn't even be a thing at all. Like, you know how many people like homeless people wander and get into weird places and shit,
dude.
You know, last place you want those types of people are fucking
next to your
an
kids.
Elementary school,
exactly,
kindergarten class.
And this Instagram page that I follow brought up a really good point where they're like, I forgot who they brought up specifically, but there's going to be a couple like celebrities or successful people who are like, that law's fucked up. You guys are fucking with the homeless people. Let them stay there, right? But it's like, dude, these homeless people aren't allowed to set up their camps in front of private schools. You know what I mean? Like if you go to any private school that's in the hills, Hollywood Hills, on Mulholland, in like other areas down Sunset, closer to the beach. You know what I mean? Also like around in the hilly areas, you're not gonna find any homeless encampments out there because it's not allowed. The police are just gonna kick them out. Where are you gonna find homeless encampments? Probably in the lower income areas, where there's, you know, more homeless people or whatever, or like in certain areas where they just care less. And like why is it that some children in private schools in nicer areas don't have to deal with this issue and then other kids do? You know what I mean? Like if you really care about like people who have the shorter end of the stick and have to, you know what I mean, like deal with other circumstances because they
should be allowed to be there too.
Yeah, exactly. Or they shouldn't be allowed to be there at all. You know what I mean?
That's not okay.
It's super fucked up and super dumb. It's just like, I don't know, man. It's happening over and over and over again where people say like, oh, homeless people, you know, come here specifically because the laws are so lenient, and also they help you with everything. You know what I mean? That everything's supported. And like you know, for a long time that was kind of like, you couldn't really make that argument because it just seemed kind of ridiculous. But more and more days pass by where I'm like, bro, it really seems like California is just like the haven for the people who, you know, there's a difference between people who are down on their luck and people who just like take advantage of the government and take advantage of free resources.
There's obviously like a lot of homeless people that just had shitty luck and are unfortunately on the streets, but there's also a lot of people who are like violent and
also
wild.
There's a lot of people who like got out of their teenage years and never grew up mentally. You know what I mean? Like I remember
they had a lot of fucked up childhoods.
I forgot what channel it was, but there was this channel where he was like going around the Santa Monica area and just like interviewing random homeless people and just asking them like, why do you guys live on the street? Like what happened in your life for this to happen to you? And dude, over and over and over again, he ran into so many people, mostly younger homeless people, who were like, I want to live on the street. Like I don't like government. You know what I mean? Like I don't like letting the government get in my life, and I don't want to get a job because jobs are you know, they hold you down with these jobs. Like they have like all these fucking crazy not excuses. I guess it's like excuses. Yeah, they can be as well, but they'll just be like, bro, like it's the man trying to hold you down by like making you get a 9 to 5. Fuck that. I'm being free by living here on the street and all this stuff. And you're like, bro, you wouldn't have the freedom to even have that as an option if California didn't have all these like completely free resources. You know what I mean? And then also the thing is like, with all these free resources that Los Angeles gives out, it's like they're not trying to solve the homeless issue. I forgot what article I was reading, but it says something about how there's like more than 100 companies in LA that they work off, either feeding the homeless people or helping them or whatever. And all those companies are like, they say they're nonprofit, but if you take a look at their CEOs, their managers, their whatever people that work there, they're all driving Range Rovers, they're all taking vacations, they all got Mercedes, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like people profit off the homeless people in Los Angeles. It's like they're not trying to help them, they're trying to maintain their jobs. A lot of those companies that help the homeless people, guess what? If there's no more homeless people, all the people that work for the company lose their job. And some of those companies are shady, and they're like, dude, like, we need homeless people to run. We're not really trying to fix the issue here. We're just trying to have more people to help. The more homeless people there is, the more people I have to hire, the bigger my company becomes. You know what I mean? Like,
there's so much. It's just, yeah.
It's definitely an issue. But on that same topic of, like, dumb rules.
They need a place to go, but they just, yeah, I agree with where they should not be around children.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
What do you think about this one, though? Is apparently this one is not passed yet, but Los Angeles is trying to pass a law where all hotels in LA could be forced to give up vacant rooms to the homeless.
People are not going to want to come to LA.
But the immediate thing that comes to my mind is, how do you...
Like, every single hotel?
How is a hotel going to be able to differentiate within a, you can't take a month to investigate if someone's homeless or not. If someone needs a hotel room, it's probably that night. So within a 10 to 20 or maybe 30-minute period, how can you look into someone to know that they're homeless or not? Because of the way they look? Because at that point, everyone's just going to go to hotels with a raggedy shirt on and be like, hey guys, I'm homeless. I need a place to stay.
That's a good stream.
You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, so it's just like, that could be taken advantage of so easily. But then also, I feel like a lot of times people look at like big companies, especially big establishments like a hotel or something like that, and they're like, these rich people, they got a whole company or whatever. And sometimes, yes, that is the case. Like, some dude just owns 50 hotels. But also sometimes it's like some person wanted to make a living for themselves, bought themselves a hotel. They, that's one of the hotels they manage, and then now they get hit over the head with this thing of like, every time you have a vacant room, it has to be filled with a homeless person. And then you're thinking like, dude, whenever a person stays at your hotel, they pay for the when people come in to clean your sheets and do all that stuff. It's like it's paid for by you paying the $100 to stay there. But now that you're gonna give away these free rooms or whatever, like, now it's coming out of my pocket to clean these rooms afterwards. I'm not getting paid at all. It's just like, you're kind of fucking with all these business owners. You know what I mean? Like, in reality, it's not always gonna be some billionaire business owner who's being affected. Sometimes it's really gonna be just some normal guy who just started
a
hotel business or something like that, and now he's out of business.
Like, how long is their stay gonna be? Like, how long could it be up to? And then what? People are just going to be hotel hopping.
Exactly.
For as long as they can.
Yeah, dude. It's just like, that's another...
That's not a way to fix it.
It's definitely not a way to fix it. It's just like a way to, like, kind of...
make it even worse, honestly.
In reality, no. It's a way for Los Angeles... Dude, a lot of people who even kind of, like, push this whole thing for the way California's run to be the way it is right now, like, are just airheads. You know what I mean? And like, they see an article that says, we're helping the homeless people by giving them free hotel rooms. You know what I mean? And they see that, they're like, oh yeah, good job. But they're just like not deep thinking enough to think about like the effects of that. You know what I mean? And be like, oh, okay, this is just going to create more issues of these hotels probably shutting down because they can't afford their businesses anymore. You know what I mean? And then also, like, who wants to stay in a hotel where you're like, some dude like was just fucking in here last night doing who knows what? You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I don't know, it's crazy.